What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL, and welcome back to another NFL video with your boy. Drop a like down below, comment anything in the comment section, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you comment anything to enter your name into the $100 giveaway I'm going to do every single week throughout this NFL season. Thank you guys for joining me as always, man. I'm going to get in and out. This is the first look lineup video where, as you guys know, early on in the week, we go through, we build a lineup together just off, gut first instinct early look of the slate. And then later on in the week, we do the full slate breakdown. I'm going to do the Thursday night football video tomorrow morning. Get a fresh look at it the morning of the games. Super excited about this slate once again. Week 5 has been a notable week for me throughout my DFS career. Bought my house off of a Week 5 NFL slate. So extremely excited to get into Week 5. Hopefully we keep those vibes going. Last week was amazing. Smashed college football, smashed showdown, smashed main. Everything was fantastic for Week 4. Everything just clicked and it was amazing. Make sure you hit up greenlightdfs.com to get the prize picks as they drop. You want to get in on those as soon as they drop. If I haven't dropped any, you can always look at the NFL player prop tool and see what the best values are before I even post them, because that's what I use for my player props, literally, so you can see for yourself where the best value is and the biggest discrepancy between, the Vegas line comparative to our projection of that stat, comparative to what they are on prize picks, that type of stuff. So it's very simple to use, very easy. So make sure you take advantage of that. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. Also, if you play college football, make sure if you're in a state that can play college football, you get that with Greenlight. We've been dominating college football once again this season. On top of that, I'm going to have a nice little sized parlay going for I'm going to create a nice little parlay for NFL Week 5 for the NFL betting side. So that'll be on the NFL Access page. There's just a lot going on, man. I'm excited to get into this. Let's go ahead and get into the first look lineup vid. And then I will see y'all tomorrow for the Thursday night showdown. And then again Friday for the final slate breakdown. We go position by position and break down everything. All right, let's get straight into this. Starting off at quarterback. I'm going to go ahead and spend up here. I think that Jalen Hurts had a kind of mediocre day week 4. Okay, and because of that, I'm hoping his ownership is low. As we saw, week 1 through 4, the ownership on Jalen Hurts has been high every single week, just because everybody's like, you know what, I'm playing this guy, I'm playing Allen, or I'm playing Hurts, and I'm doing something else elsewhere. I mean, the ownership on both these guys has been super high. We took advantage of that. And we had a big week last week because of Jalen Hurts having a mediocre day. But this week right here, I'm willing to jump right back on it, and I'm hoping some people take off of it because maybe he hurt their feelings a little bit with the 16 he dropped against Jacksonville. I'm hoping that his ownership stays down because of that. Now, there's multiple options on this slate, and I'll do the full slate breakdown when we get to the end of the week, but there are other options I really like on this slate that are priced really well. Like you have Jameis Winston if he is in fact back against Seattle, which is a fantastic matchup. You have Tom Brady against the Falcons, which seems amazing at 6K. The only thing there is big favorite, but I'm not going to start breaking the whole slate down. Let's just focus on what we got to focus on. Jalen Hurts is in a dome against an Arizona secondary that is not good. This is a great spot for Jalen Hurts to really bounce back. He had 24 week 1, 37 week 2, 30 week 3, and then 16 against Jacksonville. Expect another 25 to 30 or 30 plus against Arizona here. I think this is a somewhat competitive game. So we'll see Jalen Hurts, really stay in it. So I really like this spot for Jalen Hurts. As we saw week 1, Patrick Mahomes dropped over 37 against Arizona. All right. So expect Jalen Hurts to do a lot of damage on the ground. And just a lot of damage, period. And I really like Jalen Hurts, especially if his ownership's a little lower than he has been all year because of the dud he threw up last week. All right, now I want to pair Jalen Hurts up with somebody. And where is Arizona's biggest weakness on this secondary? Against linebackers. Against tight ends. The linebackers are struggling versus tight ends. Dallas Goedert is in a fantastic spot to succeed here. He has been extremely consistent this year for Philly. 9, 13, 11, 12. Now he gets to go against an Arizona squad that gave up over 29 to Kelsey week 1, gave up over 17 to Waller, over 10 to Higbee, and then did okay against Tommy Tremble. That's Tommy Tremble, though. You know what I mean? I'm not even sure if his first name's Tommy. It sounds good. I'm not even 100% sure if Tremble's first name's Tommy. But anyway, here, actually, let me see. I know I'm not gonna do him like that if it's not. Yeah, it's Tommy. Okay, my gut was right. But yeah, Tremble Still got 6 though. So what does that say? That says, you know what? Look, I love Jalen Hurts this week. I think he's going to do a lot of damage on the ground. Arizona's weakness is against tight end, and he has really loved Dallas Goedert this season. I'm going to pair up Jalen Hurts with Dallas Goedert and really get that nice little pairing going with these two guys, and I'm excited for it. All right, I'm excited for this little pairing going on here. All right, next up at running back, I'm going to spend up here. All right, a guy that I really, really like this week that I think is sneaky and hopefully his ownership stays low is Nick Chubb. Now, it's not super duper sneaky based off like what he's done this year. Obviously, everybody's like, oh yeah, I mean, of course Nick Chubb's a good play. He's been dominating, but he is 8K, which should keep his ownership low. Dude had 18, 32, 20, 23 this season so far. Now he gets a matchup against the Chargers, and this might blow your mind a little bit. They gave up almost 16 to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, then gave up over 23 to James Robinson, and then gave up over 28 to the rookie Pierce for Houston. Now they're going against Nick Chubb, who's just absolutely been eating on the ground. I really like this spot. I think Cleveland's going to really lean on the run heavy here. Nick Chubb is in a fantastic position. The only scenario you could see where Nick Chubb doesn't absolutely destroy them on the ground is if the Chargers get up big and they, ignore the run game. That's one negative spot here. But Nick Chubb has been so good this year, and he is in such a plus matchup here that I like the possibility that we're going to get some lowish ownership because of his price, and he has slate breaking upside. All right. Next up, I'm going to stick with Jeff Wilson Jr. here, man. It's just plain opportunity. Straight up opportunity here, all right? Jeff Wilson has pretty much nobody splitting with him in the backfield. He's getting damn near every carry. Jeff Wilson's in a fantastic position once again. He's just going to be utilized so heavily here. San Francisco's favored, obviously. It's just a really good spot for Jeff Wilson. Just off opportunity alone at 5.5. I mean, he's just too cheap. I really love Jeff Wilson. I'm running right back to him on this slate. All right, next up, especially if you got Brady, I really love Chris Godwin, regardless if you have Brady or not, but I really like Chris Godwin as he works his way back to full health. This is literally one of Tom Brady's favorite targets on this offense. Yes, he loves Mike Evans, but a lot of times the secondary will really focus in on Evans, and Godwin has some big days. Now Godwin's going against Atlanta, who has struggled against slot receivers. Jarvis Landry over 21. Like, guys have just done them dirty. Okay, so Chris Godwin is in a fantastic spot here. I really, really love him. He's only 5'9". I think he has 20-point upside. He got 12 against Kansas City this last week on 10 targets. That is the most important part to understand. He got 10 targets in this offense back from injury. As he works his way back to full health and plays more snaps, Chris Godwin's going to be a fantastic option. All right, once again, a guy that we had. Oh, what's going on here? Let me go back up here. Boom. Okay. Once again, a guy that we had last week that I am going to go back to is going to be Tyler Lockett. We saw DK Metcalf had the absolutely huge game for Seattle, which was a bit of a surprise for me because when it came to individual matchup, part of the reason Lockett was a big play for me is because I expected Metcalf to have a tougher matchup. With the matchup that they had, he had a much better cornerback that was supposed to be shadowing him, and that should have opened up Lockett. But in fact, Metcalf had a huge game, but Lockett wasn't a scrub. 8 targets, 6 catches for 91 yards. Outside of that, 11 targets in each of the 2 games before that. Lockett's just getting heavy usage here. Justin Jefferson just gashed New Orleans for over 34. Tyler Lockett's in a fantastic spot once again here because you should expect Lattimore to be on Metcalf, and that should open up Lockett once again. This matchup should once again favor Lockett with Metcalf having the tougher matchup on the outside. So, because of that, I'm right back to Lockett. I think Metcalf had a huge, giant game last week. I think this one's Lockett's. I think Lockett gets the big game, and I'm once again on him again. One guy to keep an eye on, but I really love so much if he's in, is Jacoby Myers. I really like Mac if Mac Jones is back. Now, this Jacoby Myers play really has to do if Mac Jones is back as well. If Mac Jones is back, I really like Jacoby Myers. If Jacoby Myers is in, pay attention to this New England situation. I'm going into it expecting both to play. That's what I'm going into in this first look lineup vid. I'm I'm telling you Jacoby Myers because I'm thinking Mac Jones and Jacoby are both playing. Now keep an eye on that, obviously. But Jacoby Myers and Mac Jones pairing is interesting here because Detroit has been gashed this season. All right, they have been so bad, like secondary wise, and they've been putting up points to force teams to really like their offense has been doing great, which is forcing teams to really air it out. I love this spot here. Um, Obviously, we prefer it to be in Detroit in a dome. That's always the best situation. But I'll take Jacoby Myers at only 4.8. He's the highest targeted receiver for New England, especially if he's in the game. So keep an eye on this. But if he's in against one of the worst secondaries in the league in Detroit, and they're going to have to throw the ball. If Mac Jones and Jacoby are both in, I actually really like that Mac Jones Jacoby Myers pairing. I think it's a very interesting. Now they're both coming back off of injury, and it's a little bit of a risk. I'm just saying GPP wise, that's an interesting pairing in the matchup that they have this week. But Jacoby Myers just by himself at 4.8, if he's active and good to go this week and practices throughout the week and stuff, this is something to keep an eye on. We'll talk more about it at the final look, whether he's good or not. But Jacoby Myers is interesting to me for sure in this matchup. All right, next up, the matchup's not fantastic, but the opportunity is. And like I've said, in DFS in general, pretty much in every DFS sport you look at, opportunity is the most important thing. Whether in baseball, a guy's hitting at the like getting an opportunity to bat in the top of the order and getting that extra at bat. Whether it's basketball and a guy is out and he's getting some guy who normally is off the bench getting 15 minutes is going to get 35 minutes. Same situation here. Cordell Patterson is placed on IR. So guys on Atlanta are going to get a bump here. Allgeier is 4-7. Now, it's not a great situation because Atlanta is obviously underdogs in this game. It's a tough matchup against Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay did just give up over 22 to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Allgeier looked fantastic. 10 carries for 84 yards. Dude was absolutely gashing Cleveland. Allgeier could definitely break one, could definitely have a solid outing here, and they're really going to rely on him. They're probably going to throw him some good amount of dump-offs out of include him in the pass game as well, seeing how included Cordell Patterson was. They probably want to kind of keep that scheme a little bit, and Allgeier at 4-7 is an interesting option to me. Yes, the matchup's not fantastic against Tampa Bay, but once again, it's just opportunity. Allgeier could get you 15, and if he does that, then that's all you really want. You know what I mean? He's good to go. Tough matchup, not the best game script that you would hope for, but opportunity alone is huge for Allgeier here. Okay, so I really like that spot for him. Last but not least, I land on 2-7. Sorry, I land on 2-7. The defense I'm going to roll with just these guys have been so good. Shout out to all the Cowboy fans. Oh yeah, I still can't lock in. You still can't lock in the damn defense, but it's all right. The Cowboys defense will be the defense that I'm locking in for the first look lineup vid. Yes, they're going against the Rams and it's in LA. I get it. LA is going to score points. And this is a tough matchup. But the Cowboys have been one of the best defenses in the entire league this year. Micah Parsons is an absolute beast. And he's going to pressure Stafford, and he's going to get to Stafford many times. This defensive line, this defense in general has been solid. Putting that pressure on Stafford's going to force him to throw passes maybe a little quicker than he needs to, which is going to lead to some Diggs interception. I think that the turnover alone gives them a solid floor here. I think that they're going to get to Stafford a good bit here. That offensive line for the Rams is a little shaky. So I expect the Cowboys to really put some pressure on. And at 2-5, I just really like this spot for them. Now, if the Cowboys come in and beat the Rams, man, I'm excited for y'all. If they come in and if they win this game in LA, I'm definitely excited for the Cowboy fans because once y'all get Dak back, with that defense really going, like that's been one thing for the Cowboys for a while. Same kind of situation I've been annoyed with my Falcons is our offense for the longest time has been solid, but our defense has never been good enough to where we can't stop anyone. And then the Falcons just have like bad juju attached to them. Like they can get up by 28 and still lose. So I don't know what's going on with Atlanta. Somebody's got like some type of doll that they poke and stuff on Sundays. But with the Cowboys, I mean, y'all at least can pull off W's. Y'all are with a backup quarterback and still getting dubs. That defense, like I said, is flying all over the place. Michael Parsons is just unbelievable. So yeah, it's a good spot. I know the matchup against the Rams isn't ideal, but at 2-5 for like a punt defense, you normally don't get a defense this good who has a solid floor just based off sack potential, pick potential, all that. at 2.5. So I'm putting in Cowboys D. So it's Jalen Hurts, Nick Chubb, Jeff Wilson, Godwin, Lockett, Myers, Goddard paired up with Hurts, Algier as just a value opportunity guy, and then the Cowboys D to finish it off. All right. Thank you guys for joining me as always. GreenlightDFS.com. Join the squad. Tomorrow will be Thursday showdown lineup, showdown video. I'll be posting that video in the morning tomorrow for tomorrow's game. And then we will have the final look breakdown on Friday. And then, yeah, college football Saturday. Make sure y'all get in. If you're a Greenlight member, if you get in, make sure you grab college football for Saturday. That's going to be another exciting slate. And then week 5, baby. Let's repeat the biggest week 5 of our lives. I had members win over 100,000. I mentioned it yesterday on Twitter. I brought it up. Like, uh-oh, week 5's coming. And one of my members put that was over $100,000 day for him. So it was a huge moment in my DFS career, period. Because not only I've won big before, obviously, but never that big for others. You know what I mean? Back before I started doing this, yeah, I've won for myself, but I never won that much money for other people. Like I won other people thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and really changed lives and really set people up for success that week. And that's what I do this for. So that's really what I aim for every single week, man. It's like, even if I'm able to get my lineups in for the most part, but even if I don't get any lineups in, like, I just want y'all to get that takedown, man. That's all I want. If my people get a takedown and I didn't even get a chance to enter, I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what I do this for. I'm not that type of guy. Like, I don't have much enjoyment anymore for doing it for myself, which is why I started doing what I do. So that's where my fun comes from. There's a lot of people who are like, "Oh my God, like if Cam was that good, why wouldn't he just keep it for himself? Why would he get like?" And that's just a weird, selfish mindset that people have always said. That's one of the trolls that I get throughout the last 7 years, is like it's just a weird, selfish mindset of like, why would he give it to y'all if he could use it for himself? And why would he split with everyone? And no, like, it's pretty obvious, because that's because I would rather split it or give it to other people than have it for myself. That's just is what it is. And I know it's a hard thing for a lot of people to fathom and understand, but it's just who I am. I've always been that way. I like giving than actually getting anything in return. Like, you know what I mean? I'm one of those people. That's where I get my enjoyment from. If one of my members wins over 100,000, like my guy mentioned to me yesterday, that like makes my year. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like on a high for the whole year after that. Like, if I win that much, I'm just like, okay, cool, that's nice, but I'm not like stuck on that for a long time. When I won this big amount of money and ended up putting the down payment on my house and all that stuff, when we won week 5, the excitement, the happiness that I got from that was not to put the down payment on my house. It was because so many people won so much money, and that's where the enjoyment comes in for me, man. That is where it comes from. That is why I grind on this shit super hard, because I want to see these people who these people who support me and who ride with me really get those big ass wins and really, put a smile on their face, make their days, make their years. You know what I mean? And that's what I do this shit for. So excited for week 5, man. Let's go ahead and get this. Thank you guys for joining me as always, and I'm out. Peace.